What's up, everybody? Who is going to SimVenture 2023? For that matter, who's going to the real Oshkosh? I want to know. Leave me some comments. Tell me if you're going and what you're flying in, okay? Alright, so in this video, we're going to do some flight planning. We're going to look at PilotEdge and their SimVenture, which is a virtual fly-in that mimics the real-life Oshkosh, the EAA airventure, the big fly-in event that happens every year and has been happening for so many years. It's nuts. My dad used to go. I went, last time I went was in 2006, but I did not fly. I went in with an RV and stayed for a few days with Uncle Tom. So all that said, I would like to do the SimVenture, and I want to do a little bit of flight planning. So I would like you guys, if you're going to fly into the real airventure, try this out. Do the virtual fly-in. Also, make sure you go check the real notice and get all schooled up on everything that you need to fly into the real event and not just the SimVenture. So that being said, go to pilotedge.net, check this out. Go to SimVenture virtual fly-in. It happens July 13th through July 16th, which is coming up here real soon. Make sure you go through this stuff here. They've got published times in which they will be available to fly in, and I have a weird feeling it's going to be super busy. All right, so make sure to get on Discord, make sure to download the appropriate version of the notice, and make sure to go through all of this stuff and get it schooled up on what you need to do. What I want to do so that I'm not going through the notice, which looks very similar to this, for X-Plane 11, I'm not going to go through this word for word. I think you guys will be super bored. So what I am going to do is I've been through this a few times, and I'm going to go through SkyVector, and we're going to do ourselves a little bit of flight planning so you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like. So let's jump in and do a little bit of that flight planning and kind of give you guys a warm and fuzzy. So it's not as bad as what I would have expected it to be. It's more like a streamlined event. It's like a school lunch line. Like if you were in elementary school and there was a published time between 11:30 and 12:30, your class would get out and they would walk single file down the hallway and they would line up and they would go into the lunch line so that they could get food, right? You don't want to cut anybody. You don't want to be a jerk. You just want to go in there, be a decent, respectful person, and then go get your lunch. That's what this is, all right? So all you're really going to do, and I'll show it to you here. This is the only thing I'll get in here for. You're probably going to fly into FISK. FISK ARRIVAL is what you're going to fly into, but if it's busy, you're probably going to end up flying into one of their transition points, which are GPS, VFR waypoints, which is Endeavor transition, the Puckaway Lake transition, the Green Lake transition, and or the Ripon transition. All of these are very easily spottable, for lack of better words. I mean, you're looking at the corner of a lake, a corner of another lake, Ripon, which is a pretty big town, FISK, which you can't see on here, but that's probably going to be a little town. I think there's some pictures in here of what you're looking for. So you're going to be looking for this. They're telling you exactly what you're going to be looking for so that you can spot railroad tracks going into Oshkosh right around FISK here, okay? So what I would suggest is putting together a little flight plan, and this is your lunch line right here. Endeavor to Puckaway, to Green Lake, up here to Ripon, to FISK, and from FISK, you're going to be monitoring basically an approach frequency, and somebody is going to talk to you, and they're going to tell you to rock your wings, basically saying, hey, I can see you, or that's your two-way communication to come into the airport to get into the Class D airspace at the time. And then they're going to tell you to go north and do the they call it the railroad transition, which is going to be following VFR along these railroad tracks until you get to the east-west runway, and then you're going to make your transition and land. Or you're going to do the FISK Avenue approach, and you're going to go the south side. You're going to shoot a 090 directly from FISK, and you're going to go to the south side, and you're going to go probably to the north or the south runway there, okay? Turns out they actually have a long taxiway. I think it's Taxiway Alpha. They actually, for this event, they're turning into a runway. So if you're if you ever wanted to legally land on a taxiway, this would be a really cool way to do it. And they actually will open that up, and this will become 3-6 left and 3-6 right. And coming from the north and going down, you would be looking at, I guess it'd be 1-8 left and 1-8 right, which is actually, I think that's pretty cool. I would love to go in there and just land on a taxiway. I think it'd be kind of neat. Hats off to Harrison Ford. So, all that said, this is your launch line. It's pretty easy. So wherever you're coming, you're going to fly into this. This is specifically for piston-powered aircraft, small GA. You're going to get a lot of GA aircraft coming in here, experimental aircraft, and they want to hold 90. You're going to want to hold 90 knots at 1,800 MSL. Okay, if you're a little bit faster, you got a little bit quicker of an aircraft. We want to hold 130 knots at 2,300 MSL. Same, so basically 2 corridors, 2 launch lines, separated by 500 feet. Okay, so you're going to want to hold that altitude. You're going to want to be very careful that you don't stray from that altitude, because you're going to have people above you, possibly people below you. You're going to have people behind you and people in front of you. Okay, so you're going to want to hold that 90 knots. You're going to want to hold that altitude, and you're going to want to be very careful. You're going to use your eyes, VFR separation. Okay, so I mean, yes, they're GPS waypoints. You're probably going to follow those loosely, but you're also going to follow single file the guy in front of you. You're going to maintain about a half mile of separation, okay? So you're going to get in line. Depending on how busy it is, you're going to be listening to that ATIS frequency ahead of time. You guys, do your own flight planning. Make sure that you've covered down, and make sure that you are very familiar with the notice for your trip, okay? If it's a really busy and they tell us to go to Endeavor, we're going to fly all the way out here, fly up to Endeavor here and do the transition, start our single file line, and start following all the way up to FISK. And if it's not as busy, they might just say, fly to Ripon or fly to FISK. So in that case, I could fly up here, make a hard right turn at Dodge County, and just fly up here to Ripon or FISK and just fly in. I can cut off probably 20-30 minutes of flight time by doing that, okay? So make sure that you've done your flight planning appropriately. Make sure that you've got all these waypoints in your GPS. If you're using SkyVector or ForeFlight, you should be able to export into an FPL and import into your Garmin GPS inside of your aircraft. You can do that with a 530, a 430, 750, 650. I'm sure you can do it with the G1000s and numerous other navigational devices that they have out there, all the MFDs. The only one that I'm too familiar with is the 530 and the 430 right now. But I'm sure you can do it. Okay, so that's really all I've got. Be safe out there when you're in here making landings. Do keep in mind they're gonna call you in for landing. You're gonna switch over to a tower frequency, and you're gonna land on different colored dots on these runways. So you're gonna be very careful. They could be landing 2 to 3 aircraft on the runway at once. So you're gonna need to be really good at your spot landings and be very confident in your abilities and know your aircraft well, and be ready to follow the ground guides on the ground and get into the grass, go park, get your tent up, and go have some fun. Get out there and go look for some celebrity pilots, and just have a fun time out there for me, because unfortunately I'm probably not going to be there this year unless something weird goes down. I won't be at the real Oshkosh, but I will hopefully be a part of this SimVenture 2023. I can't wait. If you guys want to see me live stream flights, let me know down in the comments. Hit that like and subscribe button if you found this useful, and I will see you guys in another video, okay? Take care. See you soon.